welcome to my mindfulness vlogs. I believe we're in week 4 now, and I've been really lazy this week because it's Monday and the week starts on a Thursday for me, because that's like what day of the week my mindfulness lectures are on. So our like weekly cycles run on Thursdays. The only meditation I've done since Thursday has been on Saturday, where I went to a yoga class in the studio in Heaton, and then there was a meditation at the end, which was really nice. I found it very difficult to concentrate, and I think I did fall asleep at points. I've not really had time or been in the right frame of mind, and I've not been feeling that great the past couple of days, so I've just not done any meditation. But I've still been observing and haven't been doing my negative events diary either, so I should really do that. And yeah, I just really need to catch up on everything. It's a bit at the moment. It has been an emotional roller coaster today. So when I was walking down to yoga, I felt really good and really motivated and positive, and then I got to where I was meant to be meeting people and there was no one there, and I was like, great, why do I even bother? So I was walking back to the studio just to go do the yoga myself, and I was like, there'll be no one there, I'm gonna have to cancel the session. But then when I got there, there was a few people there, they'd made their own way there, which was really nice. I was like, yay! And it was a really nice session as well, so I'm feeling a lot more relaxed. Today I tried doing a walking body scan when I was walking to uni earlier. So I had my music on and my headphones, and as I was walking I just did a little check-in of my whole body. So today I woke up at 3 p.m. and was very confused, and I'm still not feeling 100%, but I think once I've had a proper sleep and everything, then it would be better. And I did another walking 3-minute breathing space practice as I was walking in for music society. So week 4 and 5 of MBSR are pretty much the same. You just sort of continuing it for 2 weeks, and they're all about staying present and acceptance and allowance. So I've had my lecture on Thursday, so now we're technically in week 5, and I'll read out the little sheet that she gave us in the lecture, and it's just about the steps of mindfulness. The first step of mindfulness is awareness, becoming aware of the places that our mind tends to go through thoughts, feelings, sensations, past, future, desires, regrets, and so on. The second step is to observe how we relate and react to the places our mind takes us. Do we prolong a thought or attempt to avoid or shut down unwanted or unpleasant feelings or sensations? Accepting ourselves requires us to observe our attachment or avoidance and choose how we might respond rather than reacting automatically. What if, instead of pushing away or turning down the volume to avoid unpleasant thoughts, feelings or sensations, we make space around them? Through accepting that these events are just events, we can notice them and name them without getting caught up in automatic reactions. For example, if you become aware that your attention wanders from the breath to memories of an unpleasant event, you might choose to follow a familiar pattern of thinking, of things I should have said or unwanted sensations of regret or shame. You might choose instead to acknowledge these events and say to yourself, this memory is just a mental event, it's okay, I'm okay. Let me think and feel it. This is internal soothing. Move your breath towards awareness that you have made space around a thought or feeling, rather than trying to close it down or turn it off. Having compassionate acceptance of mental events, sensations, emotions, help us relate compassionately to ourselves as a whole. We become able to withstand the internal weather without allowing it to create turmoil and suffering for ourselves. We are not our thoughts and feelings, these are just events, so give up the struggle. So the practice for week 4 and 5, but it's now week 5, so I've not been doing it in week 4, is this practicing making space around thoughts that you become attached to, like negative things that are sort of niggling in your mind, especially when you have an urge to sort of shut them out and shun them, is to make a space around them. It's also, obviously there's a couple of practices and you can take turns using these on different days. Is mindful movement, so the yoga, that whenever I do yoga, I've been trying to do it mindfully, using the 3-minute breathing space, so the one that I've been doing while walking, trying to do that at the same time every day. So I'm definitely going to try this this week. I'm setting an alarm on my phone and trying to do it at the same time every day, so that it's kind of like hypnotism, like your mind gets ready and knows what's happening. It's kind of like a habit, and then it doesn't take long at all for you to get into that relaxing routine. So I'm definitely going to try doing them at the same time every day. You can also use the 3-minute breathing space for coping, like whenever you want to throughout the day. So you can always do it more than once during the day. And whenever you're doing these practices, it's important to make sure you disconnect with the feelings. That's sort of to do with the making space around them as well. It's like if you're doing meditation and you start feeling anxious, or when you're doing anything and you start feeling anxious, it's not saying I'm feeling anxious, it's just saying there is anxiousness. That's not the most important part. I can let go of that. My lecturer also said about when you are feeling like stressed, imagining like a photo of your younger self, like when you're a child and you're smiling or something, and asking yourself, would you give all of this stress to that child? Like, would you burden that child with all of this baggage that you've got going on? And obviously the answer is probably no. So that child is you, so why would you burden yourself with all these feelings and baggage and everything? So I haven't really been doing too well in week 5. I've not been feeling great, and the only meditation that I've really done is the walking breathing space mini body scan sort of thing. I have been really enjoying that though. So basically when I'm walking, I just cast my mind over my body, like bit by bit. I usually start on my feet and work my way up and just bring my awareness there. And when I do that, I like to imagine a pair of like warm hands like squeezing or touching like wherever I'm bringing my attention to. And then I bring my attention to my breathing. So I like to imagine there's a starfish in the middle of my chest, and whenever I breathe in, it stretches out its limbs, so it goes down my legs and arms and up to my head. So when I breathe in, it sends the breath to every corner of my body, and then when it breathes out, it curls up again, and then when it breathes in, it stretches out again. And I really like that sort of metaphor of breathing. It sort of makes sense to me. And then once I've done that for a while, I just check in on myself and see how am I doing after doing that little practice. And I have been really liking that. I've been listening to music on my headphones. I'll link the YouTube video that I've been using for the music down below, so you can listen to it as well if you want to. But other than that, I've not done any body scans this week. I've not done any seated meditations this week. Naughty, naughty. I've not done any of my writing practices. We were given a sheet of like some questions we had to answer, like what activities do you do that are nurturing for you, what do you do that takes care of yourself, what is one thing that you're learning, do you feel in control of your life, what is the source of your embarrassment, all of this, and I just have not done it, and I can't be bothered to do it now. So that's how my practice has been this week. Very much I can't be bothered to do it right now, which is very frustrating, but I am acknowledging that I'm frustrated and moving on with it, and hopefully next week will be better, but I'm not promising that to myself. I'm not going to make any false promises. I didn't do the same time every day practice either. Maybe I'll try and do that next week. Maybe I won't. I'll see how I'm doing. So this is the end of MBSR week 4 and 5, and I will see you in my next mindfulness vlog.